Good morning, everybody, and welcome to West Michigan. My name is Scott Seymour. I am the Regional Maintenance Supervisor for the MIW. I am also the Maintenance Guru for the Western North and the Michigan West Divisions. Today, we're going to talk about something that I guarantee every one of you has had to fight with over time, and that's crack weeds. Those annoying little weeds that grow in the cracks of the concrete and the asphalt. If you're anything like me, you have tried multiple ways to try to eliminate these. From weed whipping to chemical herbicides to being on my hands and knees and pulling them. I've actually even seen videos out there where people have tried to burn them with a propane torch. This I do not recommend, obviously, and we will not be doing that. However, it does show the lengths that some people are willing to go to eliminate these pesky problems. So today we're going to cover a few different methods that I have used and seen used over the years. If you've tried weed whipping or you've tried hand pulling these out, you know that the concrete and the asphalt will tear up the weed whip, causing it to be a very expensive task. You also know that being on your hands and knees, especially property wide, trying to hand pull these out can be very arduous and not advisable. The other part of that is just pulling and weed whipping, these things come back right away. So how do we get rid of them for the long term and not have to continue this process over and over again? Today we're going to talk about 3 different ways to do that. And no, burning will not be one of them. But before we do that, we need to talk about safety. Today we're going to be spraying and using chemicals of different sorts. So we need to make sure we use the proper PPE. Proper PPE for the day is going to be safety glasses, some sort of a chemical resistant glove, a mask to keep from ingesting and inhaling the fumes, and of course, long sleeves and long pants. The first method we're going to talk about is the most commonly used, and that is the commercial herbicide. This can be a Roundup, a Weed Be Gone, a Preen, an Ortho, or whatever the popular brand is you may be using. Today, I'm going to use a commercial grade one called Killzall. Another brand name, you can use anything you want. This particular one is what I recommend, or this dial, which is a 41% glyphosate solution. Commercial grade, found at any agricultural supply store. But because this is commercial grade and it is stronger, it comes concentrated and we're going to need to mix it. So in order to mix that, obviously we need our PPE. So once we have our PPE on, we can start mixing it properly. We always want to make sure they're mixing this to the manufacturer's specifications. With this instance, we're going to use a 1-gallon pump sprayer, and we're going to fill that. This manufacturer recommends a 25 to 75% or 3-to-1 mix. So you can see I already have this 1-gallon container, or this gallon container filled 75% of the way up. So the last thing we would do is take our chemical and mix it with the water up to the full line from the pump sprayer manufacturer. As you can see, I've marked that in black here to make it easier to see. Once we have that mixed, put our cap on and be ready to spray. One thing to remember with any of these mixtures is these are absorbed through the leaf, not the root. So you want to make sure you saturate the leaf of the plant well and douse it well. Our next 2 options are something that's a little more environmentally friendly and uses something that you can find around your home or shop on almost any given day. This is a simple mixture of vinegar, salt, simple table salt, and dish soap. The brand doesn't matter, any of them will work. Again, we're going to use our pump sprayer. Putting on our PPE for this one. Because we're just using home vinegars, not chemicals, we're just going to go with the gloves and safety glasses at this point. So we're going to start with 1 gallon of vinegar. We'll add that to our pump sprayer. To that vinegar, we're going to add 1 cup of just standard table salt. And lastly, we'll give it 3 good squirts of dish soap. I know it sounds like a crazy concoction, but trust me, it works. Once we have those in, again, put our cap on. We're going to want to set this aside for a few minutes and let that salt mix up into the solution. Once that's mixed up, we're ready to go and spray. The difference between this one and the commercial herbicide is this is also absorbed through the leaves, but it's also absorbed through the ground and the roots as well. So we want to make sure we not only saturate the leaves, but that we spray the dirt in the ground, the soil around it very well. The salt is what we want to get into the dirt. That's something we're going to talk about in a few minutes. So once the weeds have died off, we've used our sprays, we've gotten the weeds to die off, how do we keep them gone? In order to keep them away, you'll want to employ the third option, and that is simple rock salt. The stuff that we use on the roads in the wintertime to melt the ice and the snow on our sidewalks, these types of things, simple rock salt. Take that and spread that through the crack of where the weeds are. Adding salt to the ground there will disrupt the water balance of the water and of the root, which will kill the plant long term. Overuse and continuous use of salt into these cracks can also help to make the soil sterile, which again, long term will help from the roots and the plants not growing back. One caution with salt use is it has been known that overuse of salt onto concrete especially can cause the concrete to spall and crack. So you still want to make sure and be careful how often and how much you use into those spots. If you'd like to know more about how to actually apply these chemicals we've done today, go back to the YouTube maintenance channel. My guy Marcel Leathers did a fantastic video on how to use and how to properly, safely use herbicides. Check that out to learn more. I hope you learned something today. Whether you're using a commercial herbicide or a home remedy, crack weeds are something we need to be diligent to take care of. And using these and using them properly can help us eliminate them for the long term. Thank you, everybody.